the Jersey boys, or as I like to call them, shirt and shorts, and their little harem. These are the herding duck, or as we know them here, the Indian runners or runners. I have fawn and white runners to be exact, and that is what we are going to be discussing today. These are another one of my favorite breed of duck. Hi everyone, welcome to Lilac Oaks Farm. My name is Renee, and if I am speaking loud, you might need to turn me down. I live in a very heavy traffic area, so I have to kind of yell a little bit just so you can hear me because there's a lot of traffic on this stretch of road. I will make sure everything is time-stamped down below for you because this video is a little in-depth about the Indian runner breed. So there'll be chapters down below for you listed. So first we're going to do some boring stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about their origin and history. The Indian runner duck actually came from Southeast Asia because they found their carvings in Java, which are over 2,000 years old. So they are actually an old breed, and obviously they are not from India or Indian Ocean, none of that. The Indian runners actually were originally bred for egg production, and they have excellent foraging abilities, and they were used to clear actually the rice paddies. They're still used today to clear all the pests and the weeds. They were introduced into Europe in about 1850s, and the reason why they're actually called Indian runners is because that is where the ship came from. The early varieties of the Indian runners are, one of my favorite colors are fawn and white and just plain old white. Fawn and white runners were admitted to the American Standard Registry in 1898, while the other colors and variations followed later. But next, we're going to discuss their physical characteristics. So the physical characteristics of the Indian runners is that they're really lightweight. They're about 3 to 5 pounds. The males will weigh 5 pounds, where the females anywhere from 2 to 3 pounds. It all depends on how big they are, if they're the standard registered breed, the ones that are show ducks, or if they're your typical backyard. They also have a unique stance, which they look like a penguin or a bowling pin, which that's actually sets them apart from other breeds. We're gonna grab my hose and we're gonna start. I gotta pull, and that's really what sets them apart, is having that unique stance. The body shape is even kind of like that. Their body shape is very slender and tall. They're actually very tall. I have a big bowl that's used for like horses to give them food with. It's a huge bowl. And the Indian runners are the only ones that can get in that bowl. Their colorations, they actually have different colors. Like I was saying earlier, the original were only white and the fawn and white. Well, now they have black, blue. I think they have chocolate now too, which is a brown, which I prefer the fawn and white. So what's different about the fawn and white, it is a pattern. They have a little mask on their face, and then their chest is the fawn, and the white, the little mask is a fawn color, and then the chest is a fawn color. And they have white. This is why I call them shirt and shorts, because they have white around where their little hips are and their abdomen and their neck. And so when you look at them, they look like they're actually shirt and shorts with a pair of knee socks, because their legs are orange. Most of them are orange. I've not seen any with the yellow. There's some that have a light yellow, but all runners have orange legs. Next, we're going to discuss the temperament and behavior of the runners. It's just so you know, I know how they are. In case you were wondering, I've had Indian runner ducks now for 5 years. The runner ducks are, I would say, high energy. You wouldn't believe that right now. I'm going to show you they're not high energy. And I'm snoozing. But they actually are very, very active. They're constantly foraging. They are actually in their own big paddock I don't let them out. I try to separate the drakes from the girls. There's a reason why. The boys can be a little overbearing. It would be a politer term. They're a little rough. They're a male, you know, need I say more? So they're gonna want to mate with anything and everything that they can. So I do try to separate them, and they're actually very hard. If you're wondering if they can handle hot, cold, they're actually very hardy. I live in the Northeast where we get a lot of snow. All they really care about is they can come outside and go for a dip. The boys, I actually have to have several pools because the boys like to hog the pools. There's only 2, which I have. My Indian runners are kind of unique because you technically have 1 male to like 6 or 10 females. My drake, there's 2 drakes, they're brothers. I never said that earlier, but yeah, shirt and shorts are actually very bonded brothers. They need to be with each other. They will not separate very well, and if they do separate, you're gonna find the one outside the fence trying to get back in. So they only have 6 girls. They did have more, but sadly one was killed by a predator. As far as broodiness, they can be broody. I actually had 2 that hatched, but I had to take the babies. They're okay mamas. They're not the greatest. There's some out there that are just not meant to be mamas. So let me get this pool filled and we will finish discussing their social behaviors and their noise levels, because some people tell me, I had somebody comment about my Anconas saying that the Anconas are actually loud, which I have 10, 15 female Anconas, and no, they are not loud. Only time they're loud is when there's a predator and one's missing. It's the only time is when they do Marco Polo. The social behavior, they're very friendly and sociable. So if you get them when they are little ducklings and you keep them from all the other breeds, just keep them by themselves, you can actually start to hand feed them. They will eat out of your hand. I did that, and then sadly I mixed them with the Ancona to try to just make so I didn't have 50 million brooder boxes, and that changed their temperament. That made them more skittish and more scary. They can be skittish, like I was just saying. Like, these guys are skittish. They're not aggressive except for the drakes, and that is to other drakes, or to somebody, another duck. A drake will come by and they'll start fighting. It's really funny. But generally, they're not, as far as to you and me, they're not aggressive. They're really good. As far as noise level, they're really quiet. As you've been hearing the noises you can hear, they really haven't really quacked that much. The quacking you were hearing is from actually my flock that are like 17 weeks now. They're ready to lay. A couple videos ago I did about them. We removed the extra drakes, so there's only 1 drake, and the Missy Moo is with them. So that's the ones you're hearing, because the other drakes are in another pen and they see them. So, and they're used to being all together, but you cannot have, this is where I was getting at, with the drake situation here, you can't have more than 1 drake with so many females. Well, I have 2, because they won't get separated, and they are not mean. And mating season come, it's actually still only 1 drake. The other one's like a bodyguard. So, but this is what's different with them. Not every drake or breed is going to do that. So that is the big difference. So if you're liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload a new video. Are the Indian runners a dual purpose breed or just a regular one type fits all breed? Well, it all depends on what you are going to use them for. Yes, you can use them for meat and eggs, but you're only going to get a few pounds of meat. You might get at least 2 pounds, maybe 3 tops. There's really not much meat on them because of their slender frames. They are great for egg laying. Now, you can get up to 200 eggs a year, and their size is large, like typical duck eggs, and they're anywhere from white to actually bluish green tint. I even get some speckled. So, but as far as meat production, like I was saying, there's very little meat, but you can use them if you really need to, like if you need to, you hatch them out and you need to cull, but just be warned, there's just very little meat on those bones. So the health and maintenance of your runners are just like your normal any duck. They're very healthy, they're very hardy, they can handle a lot of things, and just like any duck, they can get bumblefoot. So it's just making sure that they are, you know, you check their feet if you can. I can't check my, they don't allow it. They're too skittish. But if you got them where they're friendly and they can eat out of your hand, then you have no issues checking their feet. And just making sure that their environment is clean, as in their bedding. You know, you need to clean their house, however. I only do once a week right now, but soon fall starts, as soon as it gets colder and the temps really start, and then they're in more earlier, I actually have to clean their housing a little bit more. And we also deep bed, because we don't have it where the ground's frozen, so nothing's gonna do anything. So, and then their care requirements. What are they required for care? Just like your normal duck, they need their water. They can only go without water for 8 hours, as you know, because then they're gonna start having problems with their eyelids, which will close, and then their nostrils. They need to keep all that wet. So the max is they can go for 8 hours, and you need shelter. They, you know, these are not your wild ducks. These are domesticated, so they need some type of shelter, and they need to be closed in at night, so that way you can protect them from predators the best that you can, because we've had it where predators still have gone through, and we're not the only ones. So just a place for foraging, or like what I have, a paddock that is protected. I prefer them out and foraging, because their eggs taste so much better when they're free ranging than they do off of the commercial grain. And no, not everybody, and I know this, can afford organic or non-GMO. Not everybody can afford that. So with that being said, that goose is still, he's gonna be going because he's not helping. So just refresher, health and maintenance is, they're really healthy, they're really good. Just, they get every kind of thing like you can get. They can get hardware disease if they find a piece of metal. It's just like any other duck. They can get stuff, but they're a lot hardier than a chicken. And they're really easy to care for. And you can have more in a smaller area because they actually are small. So something to think about, they are smaller, so you can have more ducks with less space, believe it or not. The Indian runner ducks are fascinating and a productive breed that is a unique combination of beauty, hardiness, and egg-laying ability. Their active and acquisitive nature makes them enjoyable, and their foraging skill benefits your farm, homestead, or your own backyard, because they will actually go after the slugs, anything, pests, or anything. And that is one of their best qualities that makes them very highly sought after. But they were actually, sadly, for a while on the endangered species. Now they are up to recovering. When I first got them, they were actually at, not critical, but they were out of watch. So now they're finally, this is 5 years later, it took 5 years, they are now on recovering. And I think they went on that end of, beginning of the spring, they went on that. So that is such wonderful news, especially for the Indian runners, as they are a wonderful breed for anybody that has not a lot of space, but they want to enjoy the duck eggs and just watching these beautiful birds have fun, and they are fun to watch. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know down in the comments down below. If there's any other breed that you are interested in that I have here on the farm, I can make a video for you about. Yes, this is actually very in-depth, but fawn and white, well, Indian runners in general, not everybody knows about them, and they are another great breed. And I know I kind of went more not personal, but I just wanted to give you a general idea, because basically what I said to you this whole video is basically how they are. I gave you a little bit of quirks that they do, like the shirt and shorts, they do have a little quirk. They need to stay with each other, and the girls actually will not leave them to go outside and forage by themselves. So just a little bit of difference in their breed, but again, that's how they are. Not every runner is going to be that way. So if you would like to watch my other video about ducks, you can click here. I will see you over there. Thanks for watching. And as always, I will see you in the next one. We're talking about ancient ancestry first. You can hear them. They're hungry. I go feed them.